Hello, and welcome to my channel, where I mostly share my love of fragrance and enjoying my collection. In this video, I'll be sharing a perfume haul. Thank you so much for stopping by, and let's go ahead and get started. So I have a small perfume haul to share, and it's a mix of designer and celebrity fragrances that I've picked up over the last month or so, and I thought I'd just go ahead and throw them all into one video. And first up is Preziosa by Furla, which is a new brand to me. And this has top notes of saffron, pink pepper, and bergamot, mid notes of rose, geranium, and freesia, and base notes of vanilla, amber rome, and suede. And for anyone who's not familiar with Furla, they're a luxury Italian leather goods company. And I actually didn't see any reviews on this fragrance, even though it came out in 2020. So I think it may just be reaching the US now, as I just saw it come to Macy's recently. I was intrigued by the note, so I thought I'd go ahead and give it a try. I also think that the bottle is really pretty. It's kind of plain, minimal, but I think it's also elegant. It has translucent glass in a light pale yellow color, and it has these opaque strips down the sides, and I'm not sure what the material is on the sides. It's not leather, it's not glass. It feels sort of like a softer ceramic. Anyway, I took a chance on this fragrance, and it turns out that it's exactly the type of scent that I like. It's a really beautiful combination of saffron, geranium, and rose. It's really strong and spicy and a bit green, yet the rose is also sweet and sort of jammy. And there's also a really nice vanilla sweetness that comes in more as it softens, but overall, it is predominantly a spicy rose scent. And there is a little hint of suede, but it's not too much because I don't tend to like a lot of suede in my scents. But there's also a warm ambery base. And overall, I think this is a really nice fragrance. It reminds me a lot of Elizabeth and James Nirvana Rose, which also has, that mix of geranium and rose. And so I think this was a good scent to try from the line, and I'm definitely interested in checking out some more. And next up is Van Cleef Arpels Oud Blanc, which is my first fragrance from their line in the white bottles. And this has notes of agarwood, vanilla, white musk, incense, aldehydes, and rose. And this does come in the standard Van Cleef & Arpels packaging, only it's the white bottle instead of the typical clear or black bottles that I have. I do have a review of my entire Van Cleef collection on my channel, and I'll go ahead and link that in the description. And this scent is very strong at first spray, and it's also spicy from the incense. And then it starts to settle into a woody rose, but the wood isn't overly strong. It's sort of soft and almost a little bit sweet. And there's also a lot of sweetness coming in from the vanilla, and it feels a bit powdery and musky as well. And I find that this is, definitely a wood heavy fragrance, but overall it really smells kind of like a sweet, musky vanilla as well as a woody fragrance. And it reminds me a lot of Lancome's Oud Bouquet from the Maison Lancome line, only it's less sweet than that. And it's also similar to Jo Malone's Velvet Rose and Oud, which they recently re-released in their Rose collection. And I do like fragrances like that, nice, sweet, woody vanilla scents. And I think that this is a nice addition to that type of fragrance in my collection. And then I have Mutiny from Maison Margiela, and this is not part of the replica line. And this has top notes of orange and mandarin orange, mid notes of tuberose, pear, peach, orange blossom, apple, pink pepper, and saffron, and base notes of vanilla, leather, patchouli, and agarwood. So I'm not sure why this is not part of the replica line from Maison Margiela, which I do really enjoy, especially since like By the Fireplace and Whispers in the Library, they for some reason just released this as a standalone fragrance from the design house. And first, let me say the bottle is really interesting. It's a nice weighty glass bottle with some nice details on it. And the back actually kind of curves outwards, and I haven't seen a perfume bottle quite in that shape. And the cap is kind of designed to resemble like a gold filigree, but it is lightweight, so I don't actually think that it's metal. And the plate that actually says the name of the fragrance is actually on the back of the bottle and not the front. You just view it through the bottle. And this is supposed to be a unisex scent, but I find that it does lean pretty feminine. It starts off with a lot of floral, and I really get that orange blossom as well as a lot of spiciness from the pink pepper and the saffron. And the fruity notes also are really coming through, and they're kind of citrusy, almost like neroli to me. And it does sweeten as it dries with that vanilla coming through, as well as some of the tuberose, which does have, some of that light bubblegum quality, but it's not super sweet. And I also get a lot of those, woody notes at the end. And so overall, I wouldn't say that this fragrance is anything that, I haven't seen before, but I do think it's a pleasant, fruity floral with some spiciness and woodiness. I am really liking tuberose scents lately, which is why I wanted to try this, but it's not quite as sweet as I expected. It has a little bit more of a spicy kick, but overall, I do like the scent. And last up, I have Ruby Rush from Paris Hilton's perfume line. And this has top notes of cherry, whipped cream, and hibiscus, mid notes of raspberry bloom, dahlia, and water lily, and base notes of vanilla, musk, and sandalwood. And I'm not quite sure how I feel about the bottle. I think that it's kind of cute, with the silhouette of the evening gown, but I tend to like more, plain minimal bottles, so it's just not maybe exactly to my taste most of the time. I'm also not really a fan of Paris Hilton perfumes. I have only tried one or two, and I saw that this new release was coming out, and it had cherry as a note, which is one of my favorites. So that combined with the whipped cream, intrigued me enough to go ahead and give it a try. I didn't pay full price for this. I bought it from a discount retailer. I think it was Fragrance Net, if you want to try to find it there. And this scent to me starts off with a soft yet slightly tart cherry note, but also a lot of hibiscus. And hibiscus is one of those floral notes that sometimes I don't enjoy, but I did still want to give this a try. And here it's giving the scent a sort of watery, musky feeling that I'm not really fond of. But it only lasts maybe the first, 20 minutes or so, and then the scent starts to, transform a bit. The scent does start to get sweeter as it dries, and the cherry comes out more, sort of a fresh cherry mixing with a sweet kind of creamy vanilla. You do still smell the hibiscus kind of in the background, but it's not as off-putting once the scent has settled a bit. So I'm not really a fan of the opening, but after a while, I do think it's a nice, kind of sweet cherry vanilla scent. I don't think it's the best cherry scent that I've tried, but I do think that it's decent for the price. So that's it for my perfume haul. Let me know what you think of these scents if you've tried them. Thank you for stopping by. I hope that you'll subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video.